हाय, कैसे हैं आप सब? हाउ आर यू ऑल?
I am fine, Didi. What about you?
I'm also good. How are the sessions going? What did you learn in the past few sessions? Anything new?
Yes, we have learned about lot of new different things like about online business, freelancing, and aeroplanes, and a lot of things.
Wow. Did you enjoy it? Did you like learning about aeroplanes maybe or
Yes,
starting a business as you're saying? Did you like it?
yes,
That's so nice. I can remember a lot of you. I remember we had a session long ago.
yes. Applied maths.
Right, absolutely. We are waiting for one more person, then we can get started. All right, so I think we can start the session. And we are not going to learn about today anything business related, anything finance related, or anything related to aeroplanes or science or anything. Today we are going to talk about something different. And probably you may not like it, probably you like it, but let's see. And let's see if we are able to understand this new kind of a topic and if it opens some new doors for us. So today's session is all about, I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. Someone can read and tell me what is the title.
Blind agreement.
Blind agreement, right? So after reading the name, what do you think? What this session can be about? What do you think we are going to learn today? Yeah, yes. Durgeshwari, please go on.
Uh, when I read this blind agreement, I think there are certain agreements that we do that we are not aware about. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that is what session is. I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
Yes, it can be about that. It's very good that you are trying and guessing. That's what we are learning. Yes, Angel, please go on.
Uh, I also think like something about agreeing without thinking about it or thought, giving it a second thought, agreeing about something.
Yes,
Maybe
absolutely.
something that.
Totally. Yes, Dildar, what do you think?
I was saying same thing like we agree on without without knowing the facts, or in the excitement or feeling, we just agree the things.
Okay, perfect. Yes, Saloni.
Something related to registration, maybe.
Some, something related to
Registration.
registration. Okay, can be something related to that. Yes, Mansi.
uh, might be like without knowing, as Bhaiya said, without
Hmm.
knowing the fact, or trusting someone blindly and agreeing with their point.
Yeah, totally. Right. That can also be blind agreement. Okay. Thank you so much for all these responses. And I wouldn't say that it's not on the right lines. This is what we are going to decode today and understand that why do we agree to a lot of things without thinking about them. Okay. So that is what we are going to explore today, but not just in a way that I'm going to tell you ki, oh acha, we should not agree to things without understanding. We are going to dissect it today. Okay, so let me ask you this one simple question. When was the last time when you believed something without checking? Without, it was not making any sense, and you just agreed to it. Okay, don't think quickly. Okay, take some time. Take some time. Go back in your memories and think about this one thing which you agreed on without understanding what it is. Okay. I hope now you have some ideas. I just want to start with my own experience. So, yeah, we can keep the ball rolling. So, when I was a kid, which is long time ago, my mom just told me that we should not, clean our house when the sun has set. And for a very long time, I kept it with me, like this. I never used to broom my room when the sun has set. So I agreed to it just because my mom said it. Okay, so that's mine. Yes, Tapsi, please go on. Tell me, what did you agree on?
So, when my parents said something that you can't do this or you can't do that,
Yeah.
so I agree with that because they are my parents, but I never
Hmm.
thought that they are coming from different generation, or
Mm-hmm.
I am coming from different generation, so it
Mm-hmm.
might not happen them, and
Mm-hmm.
like different generation.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Tapsi, for sharing. Yes, Shamna and Fatima, you go on.
Yes. So when in a long time ago, when I was cutting my nails in night, so that time my dad told me, "Don't cut it now. It's like
Mhm.
bad thing." So I I believed him
Yeah,
without.
you did believe it, right? Just like I was believing my mom that we should not clean our house when the sun has set, right? Sejal, what do you like? What's your experience?
This may sound hilarious. So, few days ago,
Hmm.
uh, so someone from our like KurNiv family
Hmm.
shared few videos and photos of ghost incident,
Oh
and
my
without
God.
casting, and the whole night I couldn't sleep because I was continuously thinking about वो uncle के साथ क्या हुआ होगा? Is it true? But next day when we sat all together and we were just sharing with one Didi, and
Mm-hmm.
she started decoding everything. Okay, see
Oh,
this may be fake, etc., etc. And
yeah.
this was the second or third time which I believed in. And like
Hmm.
few years ago, a similar thing happened. My Masi sent me these ghost videos and
Hmm.
photos, and I was getting so much scared. But then
Hmm.
when there's this thing, it happened second time, I realized that okay, I have to recheck things again, then believe on things.
Totally, exactly, right. I remember, like, you know how common it is to for people to understand, to believe on these WhatsApp statuses as well. For example, my dad just showing me other day this video of very big flowers, like the AI video, like he was just telling me, देखो देखो ये फूल कितने सुंदर है, ये जंगल कितना सुंदर है, like these birds are so pretty, and I was like, all this is made up of AI, and you are just trusting everything on WhatsApp, right? So it's very common for people to trust anything which probably is coming from, very trusted source. For example, you just shared, Sejal, that there was this ghost story circulating in the campus, that, oh, the ghost exists. And of course, why wouldn't we believe it? If multiple people are talking around me about that ghost, I'm definitely gonna believe it. If my best friend is talking about it, right, my teacher is talking about it, it's very highly likely that I'm gonna trust it, right? So there are so many things which we just go and trust around us very easily because so many people are talking about it, right? For example, it's a very debatable thing, and I am not taking any side, right? Even today, a lot of people do debate about it. That was the moon landing fake or real? Have you heard about it? The moon, about the moon landing, the life-changing mission of NASA, when the first man who just set a foot on moon, and many people debate about around it. They say that moon landing was fake. So they say that it was because yeah, it was fake, right? What are your views about around it? I want to hear about that. Like, what do you think? Was the moon landing fake or was it real? How do you think about topics like these? I wanna listen. I wanna hear answer from someone who hasn't spoken yet. Yes, Danish, please go on.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add one thing, like the thing like scientific discovery. So
Hmm.
to believe in that, it's better to see the scientific facts. For example,
Hmm.
some evidence, some
Evidence.
pictures or videos, or a
Yes.
logical, reasonable fact that make us to believe. Like earlier, people used to think the Earth is not a round, it's a
Hmm.
flat surface. But later
Hmm.
on, due to many things like the example of the ship, from far it is like looking small, then coming it's getting bigger and bigger.
Hmm.
So like the logical facts and the proof that give us, so due to that we can evaluate whether it's right or wrong.
That's an excellent answer, Danish. I would say that trusting anything which is, which goes in a way where we can prove it, if we have fact, if we have, like, evidence around it, then only we can trust it, right? So that's a, I would say, really really good approach for anything. But science is not alone in the whole world. So many things come together to make one thing. For example, can science grow alone without any political influence, right? So multiple things come together and then the world works. For example, if we talk about uh, how the world war ended, all of you know that how it ended, right? Japan was bombed, and it was not very, was not just a simple bomb, it was an atomic bomb, right? And of course, Japan was bombed because of the political reasons. But science came along with politics, and it was possible because of the science advancements. Someone discovered atomic theory, someone discovered atomic bomb, and someone had a brain in science, someone had a brain in politics, someone had a brain in geography, someone had a skill to fly a plane. All that came together and a country was bombed, right? So many things come together to make something possible, right? So whenever people are arguing about moon landing, simply, which is a very scientific thing, right? There are so many political reasons around it as well. For example, it was a cold war between two countries, right? So people say that moon landing was fake because America wanted to tell the world that they are so advanced, right? They have uh, you know they have the power to send people on moon, right? So yeah, we never know. Of course we know as well, but at the end of the day, we have to see that what we want to believe and how we want to believe. Just like Danish just said, that I want to see the scientific proof. That's a perfect, excellent answer, right? Now take a break, take a deep breath, and we'll move on to the next question. Until here, if you want to add anything, please feel free to add. Great. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Okay. Now, how many of us just think that democracy is the best form of government? Just take a moment. Think about it. We know a lot about democracy, right? Now, what do you think? Is it a best form of government, or like, is there any other kind of a government which can do much, much, much better things than democracy? This is the question we are thinking about, that is democracy the best form of government? And alongside, I have added a conversation of a teacher and a student, and it's a screenshot from, I would say, ninth grade civics book. I loved that book. I think I did not read it properly when I was in ninth grade, but when I grew up, I did go back and read it, and I truly understood a lot of, uh, a lot of understanding came of politics came to me through that book. Even though it was a ninth grade book, it's excellent collection of, ideas. You can raise your hand, and whenever you are ready, you can answer. What do you think about democracy? Yes. So, how many of you know? Yeah, yes, Dildar, please go on.
Yeah, I want to say that yeah, somewhat means many of times democracy is good idea for
Hmm.
the government, means for the people of country,
Hmm.
because it gives a right to freedom of speech and give a right to vote for the our elected person.
Hmm.
So it is important and it is somewhat, yeah, best.
It is best in its own way. Thanks, Dildar. Yes, Durgeshwari, please go on.
Yes. So, according to me, I think democracy is the best form of government. But I think only when it is used in a correct form. I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us has like this thought that democracy is for the people, by the people. But I think there are so many intricacies that we have to look into. And I think that is what some many of the countries are missing right now, or many of the governments are missing right now.
Hmm.
So I think democracy can be a best form of government. It's not right now. That's what I
Hmm.
think.
That's lovely insight, Durgeshwari, Dildar. I just loved it. Yes, Danish, please go on. Add to it.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for the background noises. I
No
just wanted
problem.
to add in one more thing. Democracy is the best form of to rule to run a country, but if there is a huge population or many different mindset of people in a country or a particular region, then democracy won't work. For example, if I want to do something for the right of a country, but
Hmm.
due to a various point of view, various sect, the
Hmm.
opposition will oppose, and due to the good form of democracy, it will lead to us a downfall of our country. So it is a
Oh.
very good thing of our democracy, but unless and until all the people of that country are educated, they know the right and wrong for
Hmm.
themselves, not being manipulated by the other people. Yeah,
Wow.
that's all.
Danish, that's such a good insight. I am like so impressed because you guys are the future of the country, right? And when young people think, when young people question, when young people try to understand the reasons behind anything, then only a country is going to any kind of a direction, right? Yes, Sejal, please add.
Yes, please. So I have a thought in my mind, but
Hmm.
don't really know whether I will be able to communicate it, but I'll
Hmm.
try my best.
Yes.
So I believe everything has two sides. One is
Hmm.
the advantage side, and the other one is disadvantage side.
Yes.
Today, I am going to share about something that I feel
Hmm.
is disadvantage. In a country like India, where education is not given that much importance, and
Hmm.
when the people are given the power to vote for someone,
Hmm.
like they will be voting for the the factors that they will consider for voting will be very much different as compared to a person who is literate, who knows about various things. For example, if we consider current situation, many of us are fighting based on religion, language, culture, etc. It says a lot about us, and we can also see that most of the one who are fighting, we can see them as well.
Yes.
And I feel that, if people are literate and then democracy is applied or used, then only it is beneficial to a certain extent. But if we keep our population illiterate and we keep using them, then democracy is going to help the politicians, not common people. And I feel there are different mechanisms or strategies that are being used to keep us uneducated, because when we don't get education, we don't understand, we don't know how to make decisions, we don't know how to question. So that is why I feel that if people are uneducated, it is going to favor the government. But if we are educated, it is going to favor us. Also, it will lead to our country's development.
Sejal, you were saying that I don't know if I'll be able to communicate it or not, but I think you communicated it in a very, very amazing way. Like that's the crux, right? I think that's the policy. Why our country doesn't have as much educational opportunities as it should have could be one of the reasons why why people are not voting for the right people, why people are not why our country is not moving in a particular direction. And it probably is benefiting some sort of people who don't want us to get educated, right? So when every time when for the last 5 years, like not from this year, I was always blaming the people. I used to blame people in a way that no one knows who to vote. This country is doomed. I used to like complain a lot on people. And I used to say that we don't have a good education system, this and that and all. And then this year, suddenly when Delhi had elections, immediately I realized that, oh, it's also one of the responsibilities government have, and they don't fulfill it because they are benefiting from that, as you just put it in such nice words, right? And I remember when Delhi had elections this time, uh, I was very unsure about who to vote. To be fair, a lot of people around me are very sure. They know who they want to vote. And I was feeling like, what is wrong with me? Why don't I know that who to vote? How can that be? And how should I make this decision? And my parents, my siblings, my friends were making fun of me that how can I not be sure about this? And I told them because I am not sure. Then what I did was, um, I took help from ChatGPT and other LLMs. I asked it to create, a past record of 5 years, what the current government did, and then previous 5 years record of what government did in education and everything, and then previous government as well. So I compared all the governments, then I made my decision based on that. I also checked the candidates who are running in my residency, constituency, I'm sorry, residency, constituency. And I also checked the number of cases they have against themselves, who is educated. And based on that, I made my decision. And all that honestly was possible because I am educated, right? I had the privilege to go to a school and then to a college as well, right? But given that, if I see my like a lot of people around me who just went to who couldn't go to a college, who couldn't go to a good school, and who couldn't receive, you know, a real education. They did vote for the people who was very famous probably in our community, in our neighborhood. People love going with crowd. People love making blind agreements, right? If one person around me is just shouting someone's name, everyone will just start shouting that person's name. And that is what blind agreement is. When we start making our beliefs based on what is popular around me, that is what blind agreement is. And we all are victims of blind agreement. For example, I am wearing this this dress right now, and I'm wearing this dress because it's very popular around me. In my market closer to my house, this dress was being sold. Like everyone is like wearing this, so I'm gonna also wear it because everyone around is doing that, right? And that is what blind agreement is. It happens on social media, it happens in voting, it happens in food preferences. For example, why do you think Italian food is suddenly so popular in India in the last 20-30 years? It got suddenly popular. Everyone wants to eat pizza, everyone wants to eat pasta. We have Domino's, we have McDonald's, right? It's popular because it's trendy, right? And that's what we like to follow. We don't question. Yes, Danish, please add.
I just wanted to ask you one thing from
Yes.
your perspective, or like, is following blind agreement is good, not good? Like, for example, if someone, for example, you have given the example of the food chain company or the dress you go.
Hmm.
So you have gone, like seeing to this, other people are also wearing it, and
Hmm.
just an example.
Hmm.
So is blind agreement? It's not always right, and it's not always wrong.
Hmm.
So, like, how can we think it's right or
Hmm.
it's not wrong? For
Okay.
example, someone gave the example of the cutting the nails at night.
Hmm.
We won't. Like, the parents have told us not to do. So what? Even my parents also have told. So what I used to do, I just listen them. Okay, like,
Hmm.
form a discipline. Not
Yeah.
to do this thing in the night, do it in morning. And
Hmm.
the thing which needs to be done in night, do it in night.
Hmm.
Segregate your schedule and other things. So what is blind agreement? A right one or a
Hmm.
wrong one? In which form do you think?
Sure. Thank you, Danish, for asking this question. And I would disagree with the sentence that blind agreement can be right sometimes. The reason why I'm disagreeing with is for example, imagine if everyone is telling me around me that we should not smoke. Everyone around me is telling me that we should not smoke, which is a good thing, right? Now, if I am not smoking, just because my parents just told me, my friends just told me that it's something wrong, it's something wrong, will that be a good reason? Or I really care about my lungs, I really care about my health, and then I am not smoking, then it is right. Because I'll tell you, when we are just following everyone around us, at some point we lose ourselves, we lose our own identity. We just think we are one of the sheep. हम सब भेड़ चाल का हिस्सा है ना? When we think that I am something, I'm not going to blindly trust even the right things. I'm going to make my right understanding, and then I'm going to follow it. For example, you shared that cutting the nails at the night, right? The reason behind that was, imagine if I am stuck in a cave, raat ho gayi hai, it's very dark, and I'm just cutting my nails, I may hurt myself. That was the reason. In old times, we did not have electricity at night, so we did not used to clean our homes because I may throw something valuable. Those were the reasons. Now I know the reason behind it, right? And I know that even if I do all these things at night, it will not change anything, right? Cutting the nails at night is not going to hurt me because I have electricity. So yeah, even if you want to follow the right things, we are going to make our own understanding, and then only we are not in the blind agreement with everything around us.
Just
I hope
wanted to
that.
share one more thing.
Yeah.
So earlier, when I was in my 10th standard, like the lockdown phase were there, there was a lots of craze of starting your own startup. Don't be an
Yeah,
employee of someone's. Don't be a
that was a
slave of
phase. Yeah.
someone.
Hmm.
And I accepted that. Okay, okay, okay. But later on, when I stepped into other people's shoes, I got to know that it's not always wrong to have a boss. Like, from working under someone, you will
Hmm.
get to learn their perspective, their
Hmm.
ritual, their routine,
Hmm.
punctuality. And if someone has established something like a MNC, if you are
Hmm.
working under him, reporting to him, it's not always a bad thing that you are under someone, you are reporting someone.
Hmm.
Uh, if he or she has achieved something in life and you
Hmm.
are reporting to them in a good way, like you are bringing business to the table,
Yes.
you are uplifting yourself also, then I used to do rational thinking. Okay, it's not always wrong to listen to someone,
Hmm.
like you have been a slave, you are working under something, you are a 9 to 5 this that. Then I
Yeah.
used to think on my own. Okay, every coin
Hmm.
has its both parts. It's up to you what you have to accept and how do you have to react.
Totally. I agree, Danish. And I would say that I don't know, I'm so much proficient in Hindi, so I just slipped the words. वो जो लहर थी when everyone was saying that we should start something of our own, that was something. That was actually a revolution against capitalists. That was the time when everyone was like waking up and seeing that how capitalists a lot of times exploit people, right? And yeah, I think I'll talk more about what you shared in my next slides. Before that, I want to hear Dildar because he raised his hand in between, and I want to hear what he had to say.
I want to just add in your point that you said that government like electing the government, right?
Hmm.
Government. So I want to, right, people like us who studied the graduating from the big universities also promote the hatred. So it's not about the only education, it's about the rational thinking and the
Hmm.
critical thinking, as well as thinking about others, because
Yes,
we are living in the society and we can't think about others.
totally.
So how we can connect?
Hmm.
So that is the point. I want to add. Does not important only education. It's
Hmm.
important to think about others and also uh, think about the think in the rationality. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's.
I get what you are saying, Dilda, that education is not always the only thing which helps people to make right decisions. Yesterday only I was just watching, I saw this, reel on, I don't know, on Instagram or Reddit. It was saying that uh, if you're not empathetic, you will not be able to make good decision for the country. I'll tell you what this means. Empathy. Empathy is when you feel pain for others. And people who are not empathetic should not be the politicians, should not be the people who are taking decision for everyone. So yeah, someone can be well educated, but if they are not empathetic, they will not be taking very good decisions. And yeah, that's also sad part that we can't judge someone's empathy just after meeting them. Empathy is I won't be throwing a packet of chips on a road because I'll feel in my heart someone has to clean it. If I'll throw it on the road. Empathy is if I'll just spit right now that red color thing, the pan, someone has to clean it. Empathy is if I'll just throw my kachra on the road, someone will have to clean it. And empathy is I'm going to take good decisions for my country because otherwise the people, the lower middle class, the poor people are going to suffer because of that. So Dilara, I agree with your point that education along with empathy, both things are very important uh, to elect good leaders and also identify someone who is empathetic and who is not. And I think we can see, for example, just forget about everything. Have you suddenly seen all these reels, all these Instagram videos around Manmohan Singh, the late Prime Minister of India? Have you seen suddenly the surge in the kind of reels we have on Instagram suddenly, right? And when he was, my grandfather loved him. Like he used to appreciate him a lot. How in today's time there are so many memes around current politicians, be it any party. We have memes for both parties, three parties, whoever is the leader. They are subject for the mockery. It happens, and that's media, to be fair. Similarly, from 30 years before, also media existed. And media used to mock Manmohan Singh, right? Media used to make so many jokes around him that he doesn't talk much, he's like this, he's like that. But my grandfather felt that way. And he used to tell me that he's the best prime minister. He's educated, he's empathetic, and he's a good economist. He knows how economy works. And that those are the kind of leaders we need in our nation. And today, and Manmohan Singh used to say that history will be kinder to me than the media, which means that, see, today we appreciate him, but at that time, people used to mock him, right? So, yeah, we have to, basically, the point is we have to we have to trust ourselves. My grandfather used to trust his own instinct rather than what was going on the news, what was going on the Doordarshan. He used to watch Doordarshan a lot. Old man. But yeah, but still, Doordarshan also used to say a lot about him, right? It was not that easy. But he used to believe his own instinct. He used to see the kind of work he is doing. And that was a biggest example for me of someone who is not agreeing blindly anything. And we all need to, build this skill also, along with other many skills like entrepreneurship, tech, this, that. We need to build a skill of critically examining things as well. Take a deep breath. Again, take a break. I just said so many things. Give a break. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Think about what you ate last night. So, we get a break. If you can't remember, which I also can't, I don't know what I ate last night. Okay, think about what you ate in the morning for the breakfast. Think about what are you going to eat after this session. Great. So much thoughts about food. Come back. Have you heard about French Revolution in the 9th grade? Anyone wants to tell me that what was it? And the group. Just you can tell it in short, okay? Just see it as a quick recap of French Revolution. In case if you don't, then I'll tell you. No problem. Okay, so let's go. I'll tell you what French Revolution was. Now, France, of course, it's in the European continent somewhere. And basically a revolution happened in France. It's like 200, 300 years ago. So let's quickly see what happened there, and then we'll discuss about it a little bit.
What rights do people have, and where do they come from? Who gets to make decisions for others, and on what authority? And how can we organize society to meet people's needs? These questions challenged an entire nation during the upheaval of the French Revolution. By the end of the 18th century, Europe had undergone a profound intellectual and cultural shift known as the Enlightenment. Philosophers and artists promoted reason and human freedom over tradition and religion. The rise of a middle class and printed materials encouraged political awareness. And the American Revolution had turned a former English colony into an independent republic. Yet France, one of the largest and richest countries in Europe, was still governed by an ancient regime of 3 rigid social classes called
So basically till here they are talking about that how world was changing in 1700s. Things were drastically changing. We had print culture. Things were changing. People are questioning. People are thinking just like we all are doing right now. But we are in a much safer space, because if we were talking right now in 1700s, someone would have attacked us. ठीक है. So in France, basically the society was divided in, how India have a history of long caste division. Similarly, France also had a division based on these 3 things, which was called estates.
estates. The monarch, King Louis XVI, based his authority on divine right and granted special privileges to the first and second estates, the Catholic clergy and the nobles.
Okay, so the first one is king and the family and everyone. Okay, the king people, king, queen, relatives of the king. Second ones are the people who are working in the church, basically. The father, the nuns, and everyone, like who is working in the church. Those are the people in the second estate.
The third estate, middle-class merchants and craftsmen.
Now the last one are the working class people. It can be some middle class people who are earning well, and then can be peasants as
well as over 20 million peasants, had far less power. And they were the only ones who paid taxes, not just to the king, but to the other estates as well. In bad harvest years, taxation could leave peasants with almost nothing, while the king and nobles lived lavishly on their extracted wealth. But as France sank into debt due to its support of the American Revolution and its long-running war with England, change was needed. King Louis appointed Finance Minister Jacques Necker, who pushed for tax reforms and won public support by openly publishing the government's finances. But the king's advisors strongly opposed these initiatives. Desperate for a solution, the king called a meeting of the Estates General, an assembly of representatives from the three estates, for the first time in
So basically, the France was going in debt, full debt, because they were fighting with England. They also were helping America from, to get freedom, because of course they were in fighting with England, with the UK and all. So of course they were helping America at that time. And immediately, when country is in war-like situation, their money goes away. They are putting a lot of money in war. So now the king thought, oh, from where the money will come? Let's extract money from the third estate, who is already working so hard day and night for everything. They were just taking tax bhar bhar ke, right? Now they called a meeting. Meeting used to be like, one representative only. So from the king side will come, noble side also will come, and one person only will come from the third estate. But let me remind you, there was multiple people in the third estate. 90% of the population of the France was in the third estate only, and only one person is representing them. How unfair that was, right? It was very unfair.
175 years. Although the Third Estate represented 98% of the French population, its vote was equal to each of the other estates. And unsurprisingly, both of the upper classes favored keeping their privileges. Realizing they couldn't get fair representation, the Third Estate broke off, declared themselves the National Assembly, and pledged to draft a new constitution, with or without the other.
Yes, so of course, they all got angry that you want tax from us and you don't want to give anything in return to us. They said that we are abolishing monarchy. See, that's why democracy has its roots in the France. This led to the revolution in France, and they've come up with democracy over the next few years. And that is the model we have today in our country. It's coming from there, from France, right? And yeah, let's go forward, and then I'll talk.
Estates. King Louis ordered the First and Second Estates to meet with the National Assembly, but he also dismissed Necker, his popular finance minister. In response, thousands of outraged Parisians joined with sympathetic soldiers to storm the Bastille prison, a symbol of royal power and a large storehouse of weapons. The revolution had begun. As rebellion spread throughout the country, the feudal system was abolished. The Assembly's Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen proclaimed a radical idea for the time: that individual rights and freedoms were fundamental to human nature, and government existed only to protect them.
Exactly. See how people are saying that government should be for the people. It shouldn't be just for the nobles and the rich people and the people who are working at the church. It should be representing the 90% population of the France. We need a government for that. And that was the first time in the world when monarchy is a system where king is ruling. Democracy is a system where politicians are ruling, which are being elected by the people. So that was the first time when monarchy was just thrown away, and that happened in France.
Their privileges gone, many nobles fled abroad, begging foreign rulers to invade France and restore order. And while Louis remained as the figurehead of the constitutional monarchy, he feared for his future. In 1791, he tried to flee the country, but was caught. The attempted escape shattered people's faith in the king. The royal family was arrested, and the king charged with treason. After a trial, the once revered king was publicly beheaded, signaling the end of 1,000 years of monarchy and finalizing the September 21st Declaration of the First French Republic, governed by the motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité.
If you see the Constitution of India, we have all these things in our, I teach civics to my student. I'm not forgetting, what do we call it? Emblem, no, not emblem. Is the first page of the Constitution where we have the values of
Pledge, please. Pledge. Preamble. Preamble.
Preamble. Oh my
Preamble.
God, such lovely audience you all are. Yes, preamble. Right? We have the liberty, we have the equality, we have the liberty, so fraternity. All these values are written over there, and you can see that what they actually mean, and do we all actually have it?
9 months later, Queen Marie Antoinette, a foreigner long mocked as Madame Deficit for her extravagant reputation, was executed as well. But the revolution would not end there. Some leaders, not content with just changing the government, sought to completely transform French society. Its religion, its street names, even its calendar. As multiple factions formed, the extremist Jacobins, led by Maximilien Robespierre, launched a reign of terror to suppress the slightest dissent, executing over 20,000 people before the Jacobins' own downfall. Meanwhile, France found itself at war with neighboring monarchs seeking to strangle the revolution before it spread. Amidst the chaos, a general named Napoleon Bonaparte took charge, becoming emperor as he claimed to defend the revolution's democratic values. All in all, the revolution saw 3 constitutions and 5 governments within 10 years, followed by decades alternating between monarchy and revolt before the next republic formed in 1871. And while we celebrate the French Revolution's ideals, we still struggle with many of the same basic questions raised over 2 centuries ago.
Yep. So that was French Revolution, and it did change the world. Monarchy has been ended. Of course, it is still existing in some small countries. UK has it still, but it doesn't have any power, any power. But yeah, France did make a big hole in the system. If it was not France, we would have been still still listening to some kind of a king. We would have been still being treated as slaves, right? So yeah, France, this was a very big thing in the history which happened for the humanity, right? And it did change things for better. If not, things were bad, I would say. Monarchy was not good, right? Today we have the all these technological advancements. Why do you think are happening just in the last 100, 200 years? In the span of 100 years or 200 years, because human beings are free, human beings are exercising their powers, right? They are not limited by some sort of ultimate power of a king or anything. That these see these things go hand in hand. The moment we started getting liberty all over the world, revolutions, innovations, modern medicine suddenly came out because people are given power some way or another. So yeah, I love what the people of France did in like 200 years ago. But if we go, let me see how much time we have. We have some time. So quickly, so let's see economic conditions before French Revolution. Like, let's see what was happening in basically at that time. So First Estate, they were like this people, the church. Okay, I have written it wrong. I'm so sorry. Yeah? This should be the king and everyone who is a king family, the king family. So they owned 10% of the land. Okay, 10% of the land, just this much population. 0.5 population owned 10% of the land, and they did not pay any taxes. But the nobility, they owned this much, the population of them, all the church people, this much population was people who were working at the church, and they owned this much percentage of land, and they also did not pay any taxes. Now see the third estate, everyone who is working, peasants, middle class people, how much percentage they have? 98%, and they were the only ones who were paying taxes and owned very little land. This was the reason why they were angry, why they just wanted a revolution, why they wanted to break something and get back their country, right? And this happens, and this did not happen out of anything. Like, there were people like uh, Rousseau, there were people like Karl Marx, and there were people like philosophers who did put these ideas in the brain of people. Why are you getting exploited? Why are you the one who is just paying taxes? If not for those people, they would have still be under the king, under the rule of king. So we need people who think out of the box, who are not just blindly agreeing to things. I just want to come back to everything back and back. that when people stop agreeing to things blindly, revolution happen, be it small, be it big. But yeah, that's why all of us need to think out of the box. Now, if I quickly go back to this comparison of chart, we have democracy, right? So democracy would have changed a lot in our country. What do you think? Right? Similarly, India also had this much, I would say, it wouldn't be very different if we compare, no? The kings in the India, they probably they were only 0.5% only, and they held much more land. The people uh, who are like involved in religious activities, they must not be also paying taxes. It was always a third estate everywhere in the world who's paying taxes and all. Okay, coming back, so things must be better in India now, right? This kind of division should not be there, right? Because we have democracy. Okay, let's see. So this is the state of India. Let's take some time. Let's see. So the elite class, people who are very rich, you can call them kings. They are 1%, less than 1%, and they own large part of the land. They influence media. They influence laws. They don't pay much taxes. You must be sad to hear about it, but yeah, they don't pay as much taxes as much as a middle class is paying. Upper middle class has been rising in the country because of democracy, which can be a good thing. They are only 5% people. They have good, comfortable income. They have quality education, everything. Lower middle class. Now, these are the people who are employed as teachers, clerks, junior staff, and I would say they are the ones who go for a lot of government jobs as well. People who are doing civil services, those they're not necessarily they come in lower middle class. They do come in upper middle class as well, but majorly they are 25 to 30%, and their monthly income is this 15 to 40,000, 15,000 to 40,000. Working class, daily wage workers, they are the 40% population of the India. Why do we still have 40% population still working in unorganized sector? We don't know, even though we have democracy. Then the refugees, marginalized people, landless people, Adivasis, all Dalits, right? They constitute 25% of our population, and they still are not in the formal economy. They still don't have house. They don't have access to education. They're not, the visibility is very low even after the reservation. So yeah, even in the democracy, I don't understand that why we still are struggling like this. So if I have to give you an income bracket, so it's far more worse. Let's have a look. Looks like this. 5 lakh 1% people are earning per month. If you ask me, it's a too much money. I don't know what I will do if I had this much money in 1 month. And then upper class people, they have 1 to 5 lakh. That's there. And I actually, I would like to start from here. 20 to 25% population is earning less than 8,000. It sounds very unfair to me. Such big population of country earns less than 8,000. I don't know how is someone eating food in less than 8,000. It's shocking to me. Every time I read this, it just makes me have goosebumps. 30 to 35% of the population is just earning below 20,000. 25 to 30% people are earning between 40 to 50,000. And this small percentage, if you can see how much it will be, 10 to 12, 15, 20%, not more than that. 15%, I'm gonna count it like that. 15% of the population is still rich. So I don't know. Even after democracy, even after the revolution, the income is not changing. We still have 70% of our population earning less than 40,000 to 50,000. It's really a point to think about that. Do we need another revolution? We don't know. Even I don't know. Yes, Danish.
Can just add one more thing, like your
Yeah.
PPT is very insightful. So earlier I also used to think about data because I love history. Like history was my best subject. Even today also I used to see. Last month I was just seeing a video like how the old countries, not old countries, different countries make such a big impact. For example, Saudi Arabia, Portuguese, Spain, and like many countries, Greece and all, they have many tourism sectors, and they have a very pretty decent amount of standard of living. So I was just comparing that countries with India. So what I found the loophole is India has a like crazy amount of money, but we have many relation. What you can say like a hierarchy system. There is a senior person, then this will report to this, then this will this will. So the
Yes.
70% that you are talking now, the benefits are coming from here, but wo jate jate it's just dissolving the middle part only.
Yes.
For example, at the middle level, the officers or anything we can say,
Yes.
they are getting the benefit, and at the end, they are just getting a piece of a cake.
Yeah, totally.
They are just getting a piece of, and that too, they are satisfied because कुछ नहीं से कुछ तो सही. We have
Yeah,
this
totally.
mentality. कुछ नहीं से कुछ
Absolutely.
तो सही because we all have to survive.
Yeah.
And maybe because of this, one of the greatest thing that I felt in the last week was in India, the film industry is like making 500 every year. We have 4 to 5 films which are releasing 500 crores of box office. Just calculate if we just put that thing into education or the infrastructure,
Totally.
the road, connecting the road, building the ports. Maybe because of the democracy only this is not happening because in India the film and the cricket, these two things like a crazy amount of things in India. If we just reduce 1% from this, just a 1% amount from the film, the sports, and due to this Dream 11 and new things, people
Yes.
are not like we are dedicated, but we are not getting the compounded result.
Yeah,
We are
I agree.
expanding, we are doing things, but jahan se we need to get the benefit, a source of thing like infra ho gaya, yeah, schools, health sectors, museums. We have
True.
many historical things. We have many things, but we are not appreciating or taking a point of view on that. Maybe this can be a reason for us getting too backwards. If we compare to the Arab countries or other countries, the first thing they did was to build up both the infrastructure and the things. Like Vietnam. Vietnam was going to the war with the USA like crazy amount.
Yeah,
But after that,
totally.
Vietnam today is the manufacturer hub,
Yes.
you can say. And China is competing with Vietnam because they all are united. They are not differentiated by the religion, caste,
Yeah.
and they have their old standards of living, but they know for our future generation we need this amount of thing, and this amount of things needs to be done in this certain time. I think India is
Totally.
facing that thing.
Absolutely, India does face. Thank you so much, Danish. It's such a good insight, I would say. To see things differently and how you are just comparing these things. It's really good habit. All of us should, keep talking to. We have Chat GPT in today's time. It's there are so many uh, negative things about Chat GPT, positive things, but it's such a good tool if you want to see things from a broader perspective. Why do you think people are taught history? Even if our school is not teaching it in a very good manner. I don't remember I studied French Revolution in my ninth grade. No, I was teaching a student recently, and then I read about French Revolution, and I was like, oh my god, it's such a cool thing to read about. And why wasn't I taught in it such a way when I was? There's a reason why we should read history, because history puts everything in the perspective. If people could do it 300 years ago, if people could just absolutely throw the people in power and get it back in their hands, nothing can stop us today as well, right? It's all about us getting united and thinking about ourselves. For example, you see that 1% people only who are earning 10 lakh per month, 50 lakh per month, they have the money, right? They have the money. Do you know what money can do? I don't know, because I am not coming from a very affluent family. I am from a very, I'm from a lower middle class family. So I have never seen too much money, like all together. For example, 50 lakh money I've never seen together. So when I have not seen 50 lakh money together, I don't even know what all I can do with 50 lakh money. But rich people know what they can do with 50 lakh money. They can control the media, they can control the thinking of people, they can control what is being taught in the schools, right? You know how people in our country keep fighting about absolutely stupid things, right? Why do they keep fighting about stupid things? Because media is controlled by people who are in power. If we are able to break free from that, if we are able to break free from blind agreements, we will be able to think about ourselves for the betterment of our country and betterment of our people, right? So yeah, that's what I want to tell you, that start thinking creatively. Let's start making our own opinions. Let's question things. Let's not shame other people on internet, right? If someone is doing very different, let's not shame it. Let's think about from their perspective. That can be a very new thing. For example, I don't know, few years ago, I was when I was in school, I'm very ashamed to share this. I'm very embarrassed right now. But I used to think very negatively about a man who is wearing makeup. And that was me. But over the period of time, when I started thinking from their perspective, I have just started thinking that there is a there is a God in my religion who used to wear makeup. And I thought, okay, if people in 5,000 years ago were wearing makeup, who am I to judge people now? Who made me believe that men should not wear makeup? Was it media around me, and who is controlling that media, right? So yeah, that's what we need to work on. We have to question our blind agreements. We have to see from where it is coming. Who is making me believe that? Why can't men grow their hair long? Why can't a woman keep her hair short, right? So I have to question all these things. Then only I am growing in my life. Otherwise, I'm dumb. I'm very slow. I'm just believing what people around me are just saying. Yes, please, Angel, go on.
I also want to add, like that why knowing about history and studying history is very important. Because when
Yes.
we study about history, we
Hmm.
also get to know about the mistake we have did in past, which we
Yeah,
should not
right.
repeat, and
Hmm.
also about so many things that happens in past and it also
Hmm.
is happening today, but we are not normalizing it and we are judging it.
Yes.
Learning, reading history gives us always a new perspective about things.
Hmm.
And
True,
also, I
totally.
think we should always ask questions
Yes.
related to anything.
Yes,
Because
yes,
if we don't ask questions, we're never going to understand our or anyone else's perspective. And we
yes.
then go into the spiral of
Hmm.
believing whatever other person says.
Yes, totally, Angel. I agree with you. Yes, Danish.
Just wanted to ask you one thing. Like you said, like each and everything, for example, why men should not do this or girls should not do this. You have this
Hmm.
question in your mind, and later on you got the answer. So how do you evaluate? For example, you got the answer. You got the answer for like the nailed example. You got the answer like in history, people used to do this. Okay,
Hmm.
and nowadays, for example, such. Nowadays, people used to think like, okay, they got the answer, but they evaluate in different way. For example, uh, if a religion doesn't allow this, if
Hmm.
your society doesn't allow this, if
Hmm.
your rituals, your habit, your consciousness doesn't allow this. So,
Hmm.
like, on which parameters you have a question? On
Hmm.
which parameters do you compare it with? And at the end, what you get as an answer? Are you getting what I'm trying to
Yeah,
ask?
yeah, I'm totally getting it. Uh, I think it's very simple question for me because I figured it out recently. But before I answer your question, Danish, I just want to say that when I was just saying I'm dumb, I wanted to say I'm numb. Then I'm numb because being dumb is not a crime. People can be dumb, and it's not something to be ashamed of. I wanted to say if I'm not thinking, then I'm numb. Numb is someone who is not feeling anything, not doing anything, just following everything around themselves. That. So, Danish, coming back to your question, it was very easy to me once I realized that, you know, why do you think I'll be successful to control you if I want to ask you? If I want to have favors from you, I want you to keep working for me without questioning. Okay, for example, I have a brother. If I want to keep him my slave, which we used to do when we were kids, how I'm gonna control a lot of people without having any power? I'm gonna tell them that I have the power because I have some magical powers, right? So a lot of times religion is used to tell people that how they are below us, right? Similarly, India has a long history of, caste system, right? Why do you think vast majority of people will believe that they don't they don't have power? They will only trust it when they will listen it that God made them so. God wanted them to have it like this. Then only they are going to listen to the power. Then only they'll be controlled. Then only they'll be, easily manipulated. So a lot of times, religion is an agency to control the people around us, and a lot of times it's not. It is not as well, right? So once I figured that out, I'm never going to be in clash with my religion. I'm always going to see it as that. Oh, do you want to control me? Or do you want, like, so then I'm not going to follow it. I'm going to do what I think I want to do, then I have my power as well along with it. So Danish, once I have figured that is it being done because someone wants to control me, then I'm not going to follow it. It's very easy for me once I figured that out. So I think that gives you an answer to your question, that how will I feel at peace with that? I'm gonna see it rationally. It's being told to me only because they want. For example, if someone tells me I can't marry someone out of my caste, monkeys marry anyone who they want to marry, right? They don't see this, that, and that. We are monkeys as well. That it doesn't matter. It's only it's a way to control humanity. It's a way to control people. That's why it is done. Once you have figured that out, you'll be free. Yeah. I hope I did not put too much pressure on all of you in today's session. Yes, Sejal, please go on.
Yes, please. So I wanted to say something that, in
Mhm.
today's time where we have our phones, we have our Instagrams, that is the only way where we get news from. Or that is like, by commenting on posts, etc. That is the only way we have such conversations. Otherwise, I feel as a youth, I have never bothered to have such conversations with anyone. So when today, while we were having conversations, I have realized so many things. And while we were talking about religion, so I have recently graduated, and like from psychology and sociology. While I was studying sociology, I have learned so much about my own religion, and I have understood that how it has been used to control people.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that you are saying me to do, that was never written in our religion. Who told you?
Even if it was written, I would say, Sejal, even if it is written, I'm not going to believe it. Like,
Exactly.
Why do you think I'm going to listen to someone that I can only wash this? That's the only thing I can do in my life. Come on. I can jump on the trees. I can sail a boat. I can do multiple things. No one can tell me this. See, this is where the science comes, right? We were monkeys. Literally, we were monkeys. We used to live on the trees. We used to hunt and all. From where these rules came? There are no rules. We have to go beyond those rules. We have to make new rules, right? That's why that's how the humanity will progress, not by some rules. Even if it is written somewhere, you should not believe it, is what I think.
Yes, please. So, I always question things whenever I get to hear something. I
Hmm.
may not contribute to that conversation, but once, like, I'm done, when I'm free, I think about it. I understand it from various perspectives, and whatever I feel is good for me, I choose to believe in that.
Hmm.
And that is how I evaluate. So, I thank you so much for having this class because it was
Ah,
truly important.
yeah, and also don't never feel like you're doing anything wrong. Putting yourself first can never be wrong. It cannot, right? And of course, a lot of times it's not like that. I won't say that religion is always there to control you. No, religion is supposed to, bring humanity together, bring people together, right? See, why would I not? Why shouldn't I kill that person? People were killing each other just here and there. Religion brings people together, right? It's not always bad. It's the, I'm so bad at vocabulary. Karta dharta of religion sometimes are so, people who think they are entitled, they are the protectors of the religion. They are the ones who, twist things. It's not that religions are wrong. They meant some, they had some purpose, right? We should not always like see that religion is beat anything. We shouldn't see anything in blacks or whites. Try to be in the grays. See things, it can be right, it can be wrong, it can be like this, it can be like that. Don't make strong prejudices about anything in life, right? That is the only way, I think, to grow. Then only human intelligence is intact. Oof, take a deep breath. I loved this session. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you everyone for being such great audience. All right, I know it's such past time. I think we can go for the day. Please let me know if you have any questions. We are connected on the group as well. My number is there. You can also reach out to me personally. Thank you, Danish. Thank you, Rukmani.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Such lovely
Thank
messages.
you, Devi.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kushagra. Thank you, Sanya. Thank you, Ashura. Thank you, Saloni. Thank you, Tapsi. Thank you, Shamna, Fatima. Thank you, Mansi. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Rukmani. Divyeshwari. Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine. Oh, thank you, Sanya. Same. I'm also very happy to meet all of you again. Oh, sure, Kushagra. Thank you. All right. See you in the next session. Bye bye.